All right. Um,
I think we're good.
okay.
Alrighty. Yeah. Welcome back
Let's
to Questing for Glory, Hope and Healing 2. And we are here supporting NAMI, and that is the National Alliance for Mental Illness, the nation's largest grassroots mental health organization whose work is focused around three pillars: education and support, awareness, and advocacy. And awareness. So NAMI participates in national awareness opportunities like Mental Health Month, Suicide Prevention Month, Mental Illness Awareness Week. And NAMI partners has partnerships with a wide range of companies, and they use that to get their name in front of audiences, new audiences, like all you beautiful people out there. All right. And one thing before we get started, I do apologize to anyone that's here for the Hyperdimension Neptuna run. We had some back end technical difficulties concerning that run. So stay tuned to the Twitter, the Discord, and what have you for any updates on that. We will be moving the marathon forward here with this four-way ease race. I'm pretty excited about it. Looks like it's going to be an exciting run. And yeah, I'll turn it over to the runners now.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ghost Kuma, and with me we have several of the top runners of this game. Um, let's go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Delanis.
Right. We also have with us Harumaki and Nazuna. They are both from Japan. Neither of them are going to be mic'd up during this run, but they agreed to race, and they're here to put on a good performance for you. Hadamaki in particular has the record in most categories in this game, so he's probably going to be the one to beat here. The one whose screen is whose screen is the one to follow. Um,
Yeah, top right.
I'm just doing a little bit of stuff to coordinate here. But yeah, so for anyone who was here for the East 9 run yesterday. This is actually the very first game in the chronology as opposed to the very last one. It's takes place as a prequel to East 1 and 2, which are basically on every platform out there and very old games. But yeah, we'll go ahead and get started here in just a second. I'll go ahead and give the countdown. We're going to be doing normal Toal as opposed to Toal Extra this time. The category is going to be on the easy difficulty. That has kind of been the standard for any percent. Very easy is a little bit too easy. And so we kind of just started off with that. It is not an easy run, though, I'll tell you that much. So I'm going to go ahead and just hover on the SP bonus screen, and time will begin when we hit disable here. We will be running on the English version. It's the most stable version, and it kind of evens out the text for the four of us. So, whenever you are all ready to begin, we get the cue. I'll go ahead and give us a countdown.
Good to go.
Oh, and one more introduction. We have with us on commentary.
Hello, everyone. I am James Picardo 07, and as Ghost said, I will be here attempting to commentate this four-way race. Much to see, much to commentate.
Alrighty. So I'll go ahead and count us down. Three, two, one, and go.
Lincoln.
Mhm.
All right, good luck, everyone.
So, as mentioned, this is a prequel to East 1 and 2. These two characters here that you see, the goddesses Rhea and Fina. Um, they're kind of important characters in the early East games. I think Harumaki hasn't started yet. Okay. He's giving us a 14-second head start, which we're gonna need every part of it. So don't worry about that too much.
Yeah.
So the run starts off with about a 2.5-minute long cutscene here, just introducing to the backstory of Toal, who's our protagonist here, who forsook his sword and took up the Wolverine claws. And he's been teaming up with the bad guys of this game. He's actually the third character in the game. The other two, Unica and Hugo, are sort of like the good guys. Toal sides with the bad guys, but he's really more or less just like an anti-villain in a way. One little bit of tech here during these cutscenes. We do mash a little bit because it advances text ever so slightly faster. You save about 2 seconds for every 3 minutes of cutscenes, I'd estimate.
Thank you, Andy.
Okay, the game has a big, flashy 3-minute long FMV that plays at the beginning here of this dark wizard whose name is Dallas, casting a spell over the floating kingdom of Ys. He's just trying to get a whole bunch of power for himself, and I don't even know if it's like take over the world or whatever, because there's not really a whole lot of world to take over at this point in the chronology of Ys.
You know, I'm not
Um,
100% sure I've ever even seen that fully.
So somebody asked if we're running in English. Like all four of us are running in English, despite there being a Japanese version. The Japanese PC version's a little bit less stable. It's actually slower to run on English, but the stability means that there's fewer crashes, much fewer crashes. Also, it normalizes it for the four of us, so everyone's on an even playing field. In fact, Harumaki had been submitting on English for a long time. We separate the
It's
two
also
boards
not
for their
easy
own
to get
categories.
Japanese language version legally.
Mhm. At least over here it isn't. So I just got to skip right here.
I didn't.
So what this does is it resets your position. We need to go to the north end of the room, so it saves like a little bit of time if you get it. Looks like Nazuna got it as well.
I've never gotten it, not even in practice.
For whatever
Because
reason,
it's so annoying to
actually-
practice because you have to watch the 2-minute cutscene just to practice that one skip.
Mhm. I feel like when I
No.
played this game in 60 FPS on 4x3, I'm able to get it almost every time. The early portions of this, and by that I mean the very, very early portions, we're just gonna be doing lunging and jumping for movement. This right here is a statue. These are warp points, and we can warp from anywhere to any of the warp points at any point in the game. It's a really nice feature. I wish more games had fast travel like this one. Messing up here. So right here, I'm coming up on the first three red enemies. Red enemies, usually you need to clear out a purple barrier. This is one of very few that we're going to actually do because this game is busted. And you kind of want to group them up together. But by clearing these enemies, we're going to get the Cerulean Flabellum, which allows us wind magic, also known as Godspeed. Godspeed is very good. It is a dash. It also has a number of very broken properties, but it actually makes the speed run really interesting because it's a magic spell, so you have to balance your MP bar with it as well. One thing you'll see all of us doing is we all play with mouse and keyboard. That is the fastest way to control this character on this control scheme. Although it does have a bit of a learning curve. The main form of movement that we're going to be doing from here on out is lunging into Godspeed, or God Lunge for short. It sort of cancels a lunge animation delay and the Godspeed delay by doing both of them back to back. So it is just the most optimal form of movement and the best way to get the most for your magic.
It basically does the combined distance of both at the speed of the other.
Mm-hmm. So right here, I'm going to do a little bit of a skip here to get across this gap. If I let go of the mouse at any point and then use Godspeed, oh god, well, I can't let go now because an enemy spawned in my way. This stinks. But if you let go of the mouse cursor while using Godspeed, you actually get more distance. And Hudamarki actually went for a very quick strat there. But you're going to be coming up on a door clip. The fast strat in that room is really hard. Hardamaki is insane, and I believe he's the only one who can really do it effectively. So just just like that, he's taking the lead. All right.
Yeah, it's certainly difficult to do.
Yep. That strat's pretty tricky. But anyway, so we feed this Rota fruit to this Rue here, and he gives us a Cleria ore. We need to keep in mind all the locations for Cleria ores because they temper our weapons and make us do more damage. The damage formula in East Origin is very peculiar. 1 point of strength can mean the difference between doing like 1 damage and doing like 4 damage a hit. Like every single point matters a ton.
We could actually skip this Cleria, but it would
lose.
It would start losing time very quickly. Like 20 minutes in, we'd be further in.
Mm-hmm. So we actually did a clip through the door. We're going to be doing a lot of clips because Godspeed has a couple of frames where you have no collision. And you can actually extend this with a God Lunge, which enables several additional skips that were originally not in the run when I ran this category for RPG Limit Break 2016 because we didn't really know about how broken God Lunge was.
God damn it, I fell.
Uh-oh.
So this room right here we're going to clip into, and we have to fight a bunch of bats.
I lost a bunch of time there.
Hadamaki's actually doing a bit of a different route, where he's doing a skip to get an item called a Cleria Ring. It gives +3 strength, but -3 defense, I want to say.
Yes.
This is a fairly new addition to the route. He's the only one who's implemented it in at this point. And I'm getting very uncooperative bats here. These bats are one of the worst enemies, and the variance on this particular first split usually ends up being quite a lengthy period of time. But in killing the bats, we get access to Boost, and performing Boost, it lowers the amount of damage we take, it changes up our attack combo, we replenish magic faster, and importantly, we absolutely need this in order to advance through the next room. There's going to be a skip that we do in the next room, where we're going to clip past a barricade using God Lunge. Almost everything in this game requires... It's usually a fairly precise angle, but in a lot of cases, that angle happens to be exactly 45 degrees, so up and left or up and right works. And we'll see who gets ahead off of this. And I have to reset the room. That sucks.
Oh, nice. First try.
Yo, let's go.
Very rare first try.
There we go. I was just not getting the lunges. It's the hardest thing in that room because there's a vortex that just kind of sucks you in.
I'm gonna get the wimp boots.
I'm not. The one thing we haven't touched on, you want to get to specific levels because specific strength values are important. But also, a thing to note is that every time you get a hit on an enemy, it does you get 1 additional percentage of experience. And that goes up to 1.99, which is a multiplier of ×2. Yo, I got the door barricade clip the first time.
Yeah, something you all may have seen is like...
Yeah, I'm not gonna even try the barrier skip.
Okay.
Something you all may have seen is like just above Toal's portrait in the upper left there is some various bars. Um, Basically, enemies can also drop things that can temporarily buff your strength, your defense, or increase your magic recovery.
Yeah.
Experiences handle differently because that's based on enemy kills, but those are things we try to maintain because, more is better, especially with XP gains.
It's not too important to the run. It is one of the few RNG components that are in the run,
It
but
It's not,
Oh, come
the
on.
next
except
the
for
next fight,
experience. Go
yeah,
ahead.
the next fight, it is paramount that we actually get as much of that as possible, and that's probably going to lead to a fair amount of variance in the race coming up here.
I'm well behind. The door was uncorrupted.
Yeah, this guy, Velagunder, it's not really too hard for the most part. Basic 4-cycle, as you can see here. Smack him in the face a bit, and then when he's stunned, just climb up and smack him in the head a bit.
You really want to prevent him from eating the bugs that he spits out because he replenishes health, and that can make the fight have an extra cycle to it. But yeah, that's Velagunder, and I think we're all pretty much at a similar point here. Hadamaki is ahead as expected. But yeah, if you have any donations, this would be a good time to read them. There's just a cutscene coming up here.
Alrighty then. We have a $15 donation from Zelnu
Yo,
saying, "Good luck, have
Nice.
fun to all the racers."
thank you, Zelda.
A
Thank you.
$25 donation from VVN. And a $10 donation from Shawnee7188. With the donation going to
No.
Oskumo's
Yes.
Choice. Good luck to all the runners.
So this is Epina, no relation. She is one of the Darklings. There's basically a group of people who are called Darklings that tie into the East lore. The ones here work for Dallas, and they kind of screw stuff up. They're more central antagonists to the other characters. Here they're more or less just giving Toal instructions on what happens next. And after every chapter, I guess you could say, every portion of the tower is usually a cutscene of Toal's backstory. And also the music here is like a very slow, somber music box version of Solomon's Shrine from East 2, which I didn't realize uh until like 4 years after I started running this game. But yeah, as I mentioned, stat bonuses are going to be absolutely crucial to this next portion of the run. And that is because the next boss is Hugo 1. Hugo 1 has a quick kill strat because he's very annoying and he likes to shield himself. And so the optimal setup would be to get 5 strength, 3 defense, and ×3 magic regen, because what you do is you actually take your finger off the mouse cursor entirely and just kind of auto combo him, because if you're not pointing at something, your character auto locks onto something. It's kind of a fancy quick kill. It's probably the closest thing to a serious time strat for the run, I would say.
I do a bit of a different approach. Since I pick up the boots and the armor, I can just face tank him and I combo cancel.
Mm-hmm.
It's optimally it's a bit faster than the one you just described, but I burn 10 seconds picking up the items.
Yeah.
But it's also safer.
Yeah, just about every pink barrier can be clipped through in this game. There's only one that we don't clip through, and that's because it's like the actual strats for it are really inconsistent. We don't have like a relatively normalized setup for it, unfortunately, so we want red potions and we want yellow potions. Thankfully the slimes here drop them a lot. place also has my favorite song in the game. Don't at me, all you Guilty Fire fans.
I'm sorry, I'm more of a silent desert punk.
So it looks like even Haramaki's picking up the black chain. It's not necessary for this fight, but it ups safety considerably.
Yeah, and if he's using a ring that lowers defense, it's probably...
It's a very good reason for doing that, yeah. One thing I haven't touched on is jump attacks actually do more damage than ground attacks. No idea why. It's just a programming quirk.
It seems to ignore defense entirely. That's my theory.
Yeah, Haramaki's on Hugo right now.
God damn
Trying
it.
to get trying to get the quick kill.
And I mean, you know, Yugo's just somebody that needs a really, really tight hug of sorts, and that's what we're going to give him here.
Yeah, so you want to start off the fight with a lunge into a defense down. Lunges lower defense on sprite-based enemies.
I didn't do my XP route properly.
Oh god, I got hit.
Oh no.
Oh my god. Okay, my chances of getting a quick kill are basically non-existent now.
Yeah, I only just got to the cutscene.
Yo, I may have missed the quick kill, but I was able to face tank him just long enough to get the kill. Yeah, so
Active strats.
as you see on Haramaki's screen here, he beats the crap out of his little brother, but in comes the good guys to save the day, and then in comes Kishkel, Mr. Double Headband, who looks like his second headband is like photoshopped on top of the first one. I like to call him Mr. Cutscene as an homage to Spooty Biscuit, who used to run this game and had record many years ago. Because every time he shows up, he talks about you know, being a fighter and all that nonsense. But don't worry, we'll get to clash with him eventually. And then our reward for taking out Hugo is the Water Dragon Scales, which we definitely need to beat the rest of the game, and the Cleria Ore, which we definitely need to beat the game fast.
Especially considering that Toal doesn't really get weapons otherwise.
Oh no. This is not looking good. I'm actually gonna... I may die.
I believe in you.
That's close. Oh, I didn't die. Whew.
Yeah, so it looks like Nazuna's just a little bit behind, but everyone... Doesn't look like anyone's died to Hugo. That was a very close fight. I was just watching it on my replay. So what Haramaki just did, you can actually let go of the mouse cursor and grab an emerald. Emerald lets you charge Godspeed, which does save a little bit of time to ration out, because again, it is magic. You need to ration it out a little bit throughout the run, and that's kind of what separates the good runners from the great runners, i.e. what separates the rest of us from Haramaki. But yeah, unfortunately, you have to actually manually put the Water Dragon Scales on. It's quite an annoying thing that it's not just an accessory that you equip.
But I hope everybody brought their swimming shorts, because we're about to take a deep dive here.
It's like 2 feet deep.
Well, I mean,
I don't know,
Haramaki.
these characters can't swim. As anyone who's seen us still set a run in the last 3 years will tell you.
Yeah, yeah. we just kind of roll with it.
I'm not really going to be able to explain every single clip in this game, just on account of almost every single one of them boils down to Godspeed or God Lunge does the trick. But yeah, if there's a barricade that can be clipped, we will clip it. For the most part, there's like one exception, which is actually the room that Hadamaki is about to go back to once he gets the Thunderclaw. The Thunderclaw is the second form of magic. It's a close-range electric skill, or earth-based magic, I think is technically the magic type. Some enemies have weaknesses to it. The main perk to Thunderclaw is that when you charge it, it gives this very big AoE damage, and in non-boss fights, it heals you a little bit, like once per every tick of damage that you do, which adds up when you have a lot of enemies.
And something you... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to just touch on wall running. You see our movement in the underwater is very weird. So if you actually move alongside anything on your character's right side, you perform what is called a wall run. You just kind of brush up on it with your right side. And by doing a wall run, it accelerates all forms of movement. That means Godspeed, dashes go longer, lunges go longer.
Jump height.
Jump height, fall speed is another one that's actually underrated and really useful in this area. And I'm getting terrible clips right now. Oh my god, I'm losing so much time to nothing.
I can't get through the barrier.
I never practiced that skip. Come on, Yanis, make Lloyd
There
proud.
we go. Got through it.
Get over the barrier. Wait, am I even in the right franchise?
I don't think we have any Trails runs this time around, which is a little bit of a shame because we've actually had good Trails representation at Questing for Glory, but I guess this is just not... I don't think we had any submissions of it.
I don't think we did either.
Yeah, so we're going to be coming up on the Flooded Prison boss here, which is a really annoying boss. You could, in theory, save about 5 seconds by not getting Thunderclaw before this fight, but that strat is extremely inconsistent, and it's like, you save 5 seconds, and then you lose a minute if you fail it. So yeah, Hadamaki's on the fight. The idea behind the Nikilger fight is you want to hit him before he comes down, and then once he comes down, you want to break all the spikes on his back, and he's going to start rolling up into a wheel. Hadamaki wants to prevent the wheel from happening.
Even with the charge, it's not guaranteed that you get the quick kill.
Yeah, it's a particularly technical strat of managing your boost and your damage. So... Alright, can I get through here? There we go. Yeah, Hadamaki got the quick kill. Nice.
Nice.
Got a very good one, it looks like. Yeah, I do apologize. I do apologize. I do apologize for the delayed play-by-play. There's enough time that I can usually do it, but it's just kind of a consequence of how we have things set up here. Dang, I did not get the extra hits on him like I wanted to. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna get up on his back and try to break the first 4 spikes. And then once he starts coiling over, I can hit multiple spikes at once with a full charge Thunderclaw. This is bad. I'm not gonna get the quick kill, looks like.
I'm just gonna assume I'm not gonna get it. Not to be pessimistic, but I've never been good at it.
Always the first time.
Haramaki's borderline automatic. I'm inconsistent, but I can do it fairly often. Yeah, I'm getting the full 3 spins, which is just like a minute lost. And then Hadamaki's all the way in Guilty Fire. Come on, why aren't you letting me hit you? Oh my god. I can't get past the poison either. You have like next to no you have next to no invincibility frames in this part. Yeah, Nazuna's now ahead of me. Looks like. Anyways, Hadamaki is off setting up for the mid-boss in Guilty Fire, which I can talk about because I have another extended cutscene. So he wants to
I only
hit
just got
150.
to boss.
He only just got to the October. That's unfortunate. So Hadamaki's doing a particular trick to enter the boss fight. There's going to be a lengthy cutscene here, but essentially what he does is he god speeds at a particular point where he enters this fight on that frame of lack of collision detection. And so he should not take damage in this fight. It's basically free. But you want to get to 152. All levels are normalized, so when I say 152, that's how much HP he has. That means that he's at the correct level. There's no random stats in this game. But at getting at that level, he does really good damage per second. And with the Cleria aura, it's only going to increase, looks like, as well. Also, this place is really rockin' music, and I love it.
And note real quick, Shion here that Haramaki's fighting, this is the only one they really use the collision avoidance on. It
There's actually 2 bosses that we use it on, but the other one's much later.
right. Basically, it doesn't get used very often. I guess
Yeah.
setups just don't really work, or I don't know.
One setup is like actually not
No
worth
spins.
it, and it like for whatever reason it's just really inconsistent. Like, or not inconsistent. It's like it works on some bosses and not others, and we don't know why.
One of those weird things.
Falcon games are programmed well, but they're not always the most. They're not always the most consistent. I'll say that much. So I need to make sure that I get this as well. I'm gonna use an older version of the trick. And yeah, so this fight's free. It's just completely free. And there's a very lengthy cutscene that plays. I'm not gonna take any damage here, and this fight's free for me. Nazuna's about the same part of me, and Yenis is gonna be grinding. So if you have any donations or any plugs you want to make, go ahead, Smelly.
All right. So I do want to remind everyone that we have a couple of prizes ending this run, actually. So if you like Golden Sun and you like Jenna, which you should, we do have a $25 minimum donation for the Jenna plush. Again, that ends at the end of this run. There's also a Steam key for Arc Noir. That's a $5 minimum donation. Again, at the end of this run. Both those end. We do have one that's opening up, which is the Ease Origin Steam key. Another $5 minimum donation for that one as well.
Yeah, if you like this game at all, if the game looks at all interesting to you, you can donate. I think it's $5 minimum, and you get a key. And get the game for free. Alright, so I did get the invuln. One thing I'm not really touching too much on with the strat behind this guy is you want to do combo canceling, which is where you repeatedly attack and mash left click, and that just maximizes your damage per second. But also you want to wait till this guy starts attacking before you lunge into him, because otherwise he's just gonna run around and he's just a giant get back your boss, basically.
Wait, is it 152 or 156?
152.
52.
Okay.
All right. He gave me good luck. He didn't. He gave me long attacks, which meant I got to wail on him. Yeah, this portion right here gets skipped in the Toal EX category because extra mode Toal has fire magic or fire properties applied to his magic, which conveniently let us skip the item that we need to get in this category. Which skips about 8 minutes, and that fight is about the only gameplay aspect of it.
Yeah, it's a fun category.
So right now we're the big bad guys who are warping away, which is something that I feel like I've never seen in an RPG cutscene, where like the main characters teleport away in a cutscene. Usually it's just the bad guys, which is the sign that they're very powerful, but then they never warp away from you when you're actually fighting them. So, Harumaki's going up to get the Crimson Lotus Blade, which
Yes.
is a fire-based weapon that's going to give us fire magic. It actually belonged to Unica's father, who was Toal's mentor, and this sort of signifies a significant turn in his character arc, as he sort of is confronted by the ghost of his mentor and good friend. But yeah, there's a full-on character arc with Toal. All the characters have their own little bits of their story. For a game as self-contained as this one is, it's just one giant 25-floor tower. There's a lot of stuff they put into the story. I wouldn't say it's like the main reason to play the game, but it's enough that it's there that I think it adds some, value to the game.
I only just got Shion beat. I'm like 3 minutes behind already.
It's fine.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
Nah,
really
it's
real-
yeah, it's fun. But
One thing I haven't touched on, actually, and I love to say this fun fact for anyone who hasn't heard it, but I mention it pretty much any time I run this game for Marathon. You'll notice the item getting sound effect sounds like the same one from Metroid. That is by design. East 1 was composed by Yuzo Koshiro. Yes, that Yuzo Koshiro. For Streets of Rage fans. And he basically just admitted to borrowing it because he thought it sounded really good for its intended purpose. So Harumaki actually just back there did an interesting little strat that involved lighting just one of the torches instead of two.
are you gonna go for it?
If I remember to. I always forget to go for it.
I've practiced it, but now my hands are shaking so much I'm probably gonna fail the wall run jump. But I'll still go for it. I mean, no reason not to at this point.
Are the winters that cold for you? I get it.
No,
It's just,
it's my typical shakiness.
mm.
I always shake with this game on marathons because this is the game where it makes a difference. If I played on a controller, it wouldn't matter, but mouse.
So yeah, Harumaki is just coming up on the Unica cutscene where we meet a character who we've not met before because we skipped her introduction and give her a sword that in this category we actually get, but it really belongs to her, but we somehow managed to keep its fire properties. Anyways, the Devil's Corridor, every character has their own way getting through that room. This whole cutscene is just Toal proving that he's not actually a terrible person and that he still has some redeeming qualities left in him. He's going to go through the Devil's Corridor. He thinks about playing the Silver Harmonica, which is what Unica does to clear the terrible sound in the room that just sucks the life out of you, literally. But Toal instead can just boost right through it. So he's going to boost all the way up to the top, and there's a pink barricade that he can skip through. Oh, what am I doing? I warped this part. So skipping through that barricade is actually really tricky. If you angle it wrong, you can actually just completely fall through the floor, and I got ahead of myself there. Whoopsies. So Hadamaki coming up on the grinding portion of this section, and Nazuna is about a screen ahead of me. Well, on the delay, so probably like 3 screens now. I missed the wall jump. I'll just go for the slow strat then. I'm so used to this room on Toal EX, which has been kind of my bread and butter category for the last 4 years of this game. And things are very different because you don't get fire magic in that category. It ends up making this category a little bit safer overall.
Yeah, I had to re-practice it for this. Because, yeah, same for me, I haven't really played the normal category in ages.
Yeah, so Hadamaki is on Galaldi, who is a pretty basic boss. A lot of people don't know this. You don't want to jump whenever his fists are coming at you. You just kind of sidestep them and just completely murder him. A lot of this fight is just about navigating around towards the back. And he's going for the 4 cycle. There actually is a strat in that fight that you can do a 3 cycle in. That involves like spinning with Inferno into his mouth. It's really tricky and really dumb.
Have you ever done it?
I have performed it once, only in practice.
Yeah, I never even got it in practice.
Yeah, looks like he's having a pretty clean fight.
Nope, I didn't get it.
Hadamaki is just an absolute legend with this game. He's put more time into the various categories, I think, than anyone. So, on my screen over here, I'm grabbing an accessory here, which just increases my magic regeneration. So coming up on the barricade here, need to make sure that I'm careful and don't rip through the floor, because that's annoying time loss. There we go.
Yeah, I tried it twice, and then I had to go light the torch.
Oh my god, I got the god boost, and then the wall run momentum skipped me across. Oh my gosh. What in the heck is going on here? This has never happened before. There you go, you get one.
Yeah.
Everybody gets one. That's also never happened before, so 2 for 1. I'm just trying to figure out what the heck I'm doing here. So Nazuna coming up on the Galaldi fight himself. And I gotta grind up to You can do this at 169. It's generally better to do it at 175, unless you're Hadamaki and you have the Cleria or the Cleria Ring routed in. Yeah, but now I'm ready to go flip through the door and get to the boss. It's a good time for donations or plugs, Smelly.
Well, we don't have any donations coming down the pipe right now, but yeah, again, we do have those prizes. And if you like what you see here, the Ease Origin, I know I'm liking it. Pretty clean looking game, pretty fun looking speedrun. If you want to jump into that one, that prize is starting this run and running through Valkyrie Profile 2, which is a couple runs from now.
So my personal strat for this fight's a little different from other runners. I actually deliberately take damage to replenish my boost a little quicker. Also get hits in slightly quicker. Fight's also very, very cycle based, so messing us up with cycle is really bad, like I just did there. One hit away, that's a shame.
Oh, wow.
And as you can see, Harumaki is already ahead in the Silent Sands, what I believe it's called, and just picked up the vaunted double jump, so I'll do twice the leaps.
And the double jump is quintessential for many of the late game skips because, like I mentioned, while running accelerates all forms of movement, which includes your second jump.
And you saw him skip through an enemy room. Can't kill those. You can knock them down, but until you get something a little bit later, in fact, picked it up pretty here in a second, you can't actually kill them.
Yeah, undead creatures, you need a specific accessory, which the game is about to give him. So, another fairly lengthy cutscene. I like running this game, and I really like this category, but admittedly, the unfortunate thing about this version of the game is the PS4 and Switch releases of this game, and I believe Xbox One releases, all have fast forward through cutscenes. But the control scheme is a lot trickier to get down. Hadamaki, I think, is the only one who's really kind of quote unquote mastered it, and even then, it's got its share of issues.
Oh, come on. I'm just messing up the Galaldi fight.
Yeah, a lot of the skips in this area are that Hadamaki's in are really important to get. Partly because they save like a boatload of time. There's a number of cutscenes and just extraneous gameplay that we just skip by just getting all the door clips in Silent Sands. But also it looks really cool. Like a really well executed Silent Sands is just really cool looking.
Yeah. It's also really fun to do.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna lie, I hate this particular screen because it looks like on the layout like just the game's not working. It's part of why I always keep my frames per second counter of this game active. And Nazuna just got hit by one of the spikes. It's gonna fire Tornado over and Godspeed through the door. It's kind of an annoying Godspeed to get through. Um, especially when there's an enemy in the way like he had to deal with. But in the room, there's these enemies that throw bombs. The bombs hit really hard, especially at the level that we enter this room in. So it's really annoying. Having some trouble getting through the door. Okay. Apologize for a little bit of the delay on that. I'm basically watching the stream at the same time you all are and kind of trying to guess what's happening next. But yeah, you group the enemies together and the charged Thunderclaw heals a little bit. And Hadamaki is currently on the Murder Scarabs. Scarabs in Nepish Dimension East games are really awful. Nobody likes them. The very low hit iframes that these games give you just means that they can just combo you really fast. And I cannot get the lunge for the life of me when I need it. Can I get the lunge, please? Come on, game.
Oh, Haramaki went for a checkpoint at Rados Annex.
I cannot get the lunge for the life of me. It's just my mouse is just not clicking enough. So I'm just gonna brute force this door here, which I kind of hate doing, but like the usual strat just doesn't want to cooperate for me.
Forgotten the precision
go.
setup.
No, I mean I was doing it. It's just it wasn't working out.
Oh.
And like my left click was just not double clicking. To do a lunge in this game, you do double click attack, which is a bit of a weird series of inputs, to be honest.
Yeah,
And
but it's
Hadamaki-
also a double click after you face a single direction, so you can't like double click backwards. It'll not count the first click. So you need if you run to a corner and you need to lunge into the opposite direction, you need to triple click.
Yeah.
Ran out of mana, so I didn't make the floating.
So what Hadamaki actually just did, as I mentioned with wall running, accelerates your jump. You can actually get more height than the trigger for the boss there is set, so we just straight up jumped over the boss trigger. No biggie.
It's one of the two bosses we skip. Definitely try to skip the other one, but sometimes that one doesn't always work out.
Yeah, that one's especially annoying because the angle is just really weird.
Well, there's also one boss we skipped by just not going into the area.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah, the very first one. So now is Harumaki gonna go for the? Oh, he's gonna go for the clip here too. There's a switch in this room that Harumaki is just, or Harumaki, not Nazuna is in. But you can Godspeed through there and save like 4 seconds. It's a risky clip to go for, and I tend to only go for it when I feel like just risking it. But now Harumaki's on Blighted Blood, and this area is really tricky because we're under-leveled. Going into
Are you
this
still in the
place.
cutscene with Ria?
Yes.
I almost caught up.
I guess more like I fell behind. I've had some bad skips, and Harumaki is just too dang clean at this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grouping enemies and killing
I got the
them.
double jump door on the first try, which is almost unprecedented.
Yeah, so Hadamaki is very good at grouping enemies in this area, and you want to get to 267 before the end of this area. Partly because it makes grinding to 278 for the boss afterwards a little easier if you do get the boss skip, and partly because the boss will get you to 278, which is where you want to be for the next boss after it.
Also, if you fail
Otherwise-
the skip, you will be in trouble if you're not high enough.
Yeah, so I'm going to be getting to that room fairly soon, but one of the strats I haven't talked about, cool thing about God lunging is it even works on inward pointing corners. So Nazuna is going to be trying to... let me try this clip first. Worry about my own doing run, not somebody else's. But yeah, inward pointing corners you can also God lunge through, and you just clip right through them. As long as there's something on the other side, because this game boots you out if there's not anything on the other side. And prone to just resetting you back to a previous position. I'm just gonna get the switch. It was worth a couple tries. So Hadamaki is in the pool party room, which the enemies in the room, you can just thunderclaw them, and it just keeps them aggroed while in the toxic water. And I'm aggroing onto scarabs over here, so it's really annoying.
So the boosted Thunderclaw has a huge area of effect, like
It pulls
suction
it.
thing.
Yeah, it pulls
Yeah.
enemies in.
You only do once in damage there, but the pool will just wreck them.
So one thing we haven't touched on is we still have like tier 1 and tier 2 armor. At the point of the game where you get to Blighted Blood, which is where Haramaki's at, you'd need armor. You just need armor. You're gonna get like 3 hit killed by everything. So he grabs a set of boots. You're gonna pick up the tier 5 boots and the tier 6 armor. And Nazuna got a successful flip on... Got a successful clip, or jump over Consklard and successfully skip the boss. There we go. Third try is not bad. And I aggroed an enemy here. God, my gameplay is really sloppy today. In my defense, I haven't slept in the last 18 hours. So I'm a little bit tired.
Them early morning runs.
I mean, it was kind of a necessary compromise to be able to get all 4 of us together, given that we are in 3 different time zones, about 7 hours apart each. So there's the there's the corner clip.
Yeah, it's like 5:30 p.m. for me, so thank you very much to all of you for getting me the best time slot.
I mean, both Haramaki and Nazuna couldn't make it any earlier, I want to say.
I mean,
And it's like 10 or 11 p.m. for them.
I think it's like actually midnight.
Whatever time zone you're in, Smelly.
Yeah, it's about 12:30 in the AM.
And so Hadamaki is just casually a full area ahead of the rest of us. As I mentioned, this is a race for second. Alright, I just got the clip myself. And he successfully got Victimo skip. Very nice.
Oh
That's
no, I aggroed the big red motherfucker. Sorry,
Oh.
sorry. Ah, yes.
Yeah. Language, my friend.
Yes. I'm very sorry.
It's all good. So yeah, you can also skip over Pictomos. It's only about a 50-second time save to skip over him, but it is still a time save nonetheless.
I also find that fight very scary at 267.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I mean, it
So
is
I-
a big mantis.
Sorry, what's up?
Ooh, what?
Oh, somebody was saying something.
So I tend to lose more time there because I have to take it very carefully because he has some very high damage attacks.
The door Nazuna just clipped through is actually one of the most annoying doors the entire run. It used to be like exceptionally difficult to clip through for some reason, but God Lunge actually made it one of the easiest. And it's one of the nice little perks to new tech making things that originally were really difficult when we didn't have to have it almost trivial with it. So definitely big shoutouts to Tellianis here on call. I believe you were the one who found like many of the applications for God Lunging.
Yeah, most of the red barrier skips, as well as the Univa skip. I mean, it was known that you can skip Unica, but there was no valid way to do it, and then I just started throwing God Lunge everywhere. Found a bunch.
Yeah, the enemies in Blighted Blood give some of the best EXP, even almost better than the enemies in the area after it.
Crap.
And I died. Okay, I guess I just get triple teamed and I got no iframes whatsoever. That's a terrible place to die. I guess now I'm in last. This is slightly embarrassing. I'm the longest running runner here, so I gotta show you kids what's up, even though I'm pretty sure all of you are older than me. Ah. Come on. Stupid little bug people. Yeah, the enemies in this area hit really hard. Like, us sprinting on easy does not take away from the fact that you can die in a number of parts of this run.
Oh yes, we're usually under leveled when we enter an area, and we're not using any armor or any of the SB boosts.
And I'm getting wrecked. Alright, second try on that. And first on that one, so I save time. If you take more than 5 seconds to do that, you lose time, so... But there's a cool spike strat that saves time, so it's worth doing. So Hadamaki's just coming up on Kishkel. And Nazuna is just finished with Blighted Blood himself, so...
After Hugo won, probably the most dangerous boss fight.
Yeah, so you got a bit of time for a donation, Smelly.
All right, we have a $25 donation coming in from Night Flyer.
Yep. Shout out to Tech Team.
And I also want to say that time is counting down for Jenna. She's going to get captured by Satoros pretty quickly here. but you can rescue her with a $25 donation, just like Night Flyer. Yeah, this plush actually looks really, really good. The way the link is set up, I don't think I can post it into the chat, but if you go to the schedule page, there should be a tab. You can click over for prizes, and there's a link there.
Hey, you can always check them on rpglimitbreak.com/tracker.
And that's made
Just
by
look for prizes.
Plush Mayhem. You can check them out on Twitter as well.
I have not equipped the Ring of Ease that I picked up at the beginning of the run. Oh, I wasted time grabbing that. Well, not at the beginning, but back in Guilty Fire, so I'm 2 areas ahead of where I should have put that on. I guess better late than never.
I didn't even pick it up.
It's worth it to do it if you're not getting Cleria Ring like some crazy people. But if not, then yeah, you should still grab it. So Kishkel's kind of an annoying fight, but it's weird in that like your level, like it's faster to do it at level at where you're at 260 or sorry 278. But the difference between 278 and 284 is like makes the fight go from very losable to basically free. So if you want to guarantee that you'll do that fight well without even having to try, doing it at 284 is usually what you need to do, or usually what you can do. And kind of what I recommend to newer runners of this game, because that fight is unironically one of the most difficult in the entire game. So Nazuna got a Pictimo skip, so he's grinding up a couple levels.
I didn't.
Nice. Maybe that's where I'll catch up.
Yeah.
I got hit with heavy. I didn't know I could get. Oh, it must be the slimes. I mean, I guess I knew that could happen, but I also didn't. It's never happened to me here before. There are a lot of firsts for this run. It's the first 4-way race we've ever had. In fact, I think this is the first marathon race we've had of this game in like 5 years. So, definitely thanks to Questing for Glory for taking this.
Yeah. This is gonna be very ugly. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to take a couple of tries at this.
Oh, I was like a couple of pixels away from the jump. I'll have to do the fight as well. So again, Hadamaki getting a corner clip in the mirror world. I forget what they call it exactly, but he's coming up on the boss, which is Zava, and she's a very annoying fight, but she's pretty much free.
Okay. 15 hit points.
You got this.
Yes, I got it. Well, I won't have to grind. Cutscene.
Yeah, this is like the second longest cutscene in the game. Alright, I made up a little bit of time on you, but meanwhile, Nazuna's over on Kishkel and Hadamaki's over on Zava.
Race for third.
Alright.
I've raced with you twice, and one time you fumbled something. You didn't get the topaz or something, and the other time I fumbled something. So it was like miles different. There was no point at which it seemed like it was an actual race. So now we're
Yeah.
finally getting it.
We're getting our race as we proceed to get demolished by two runners playing significantly better. This
Yeah.
kind of just shows the variance. Hadamaki's showing what happens when you get a largely clean run. Nazuna's getting a pretty solid run, and then the two of us are just the mistake-filled no reset.
Oh
We
yeah.
love you all.
Now we're having fun with it. Like,
Oh yeah. This is
always-
much more fun than like really serious PB grinding.
mhm. And Hadamaki
I
was a very
would not
clean
be
fight
using a
there.
microphone if I was doing PB grinds.
But yeah, so Hadamaki, on that fight there, it's actually really easy. In fact, you can enter the fight with the invulnerability state from the Xion fight. And you'll lose it if you ever end up getting hit by the heads. But yeah, that fight is just ridiculously easy. In the speedrun, it just comes down to juggling her the entire way through. Because every time she gets back up, you want to knock her down immediately, or else she's going to start going back into the heads, which wastes time. And if it's late in the fight, she'll even go above the arena and just do this long attack that you can't stop, nor can you damage her during.
Do you use Thunder or Inferno on her?
I use Thunder personally. Inferno's, I think, slightly better, but I'm so used to Inferno. And on my screen, I saw Nazuna go for the go for the clip around the pillar just outside the Kishkel entrance room, which that is a tricky thing to go for. And he is a madman for going for that in a marathon run, and I commend him. If we had a live audience, I would say, please, for the love of God, clap for that. It saves 12 seconds. One
Is
thing you
it
can
that
definitely-
much?
two things you can definitely clap for. Harumaki's just getting to Genesis Beyond the Beginning, which is the best song in the game. Or Beyond the Beginning. It's the prelude to Genesis Beyond the Beginning, which is a little bit more over the top dramatic.
Good song though.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of the
wall-
music
wall
in this game is
runs-
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty great. One thing I haven't. There's a lot to cover in this run. When you wall run into a corner, you can actually also get the additional height, which Hadamaki just did, and Nazuna will be doing very soon. Hadamaki's coming up on quite the trick here. He's going to clip through the door, which the geometry of this door is just all messed up, so there's all sorts of ways to get around it. And then once he enters the room, he's going to line himself in a particular spot, angle his cursor in a particular way so that when he godspeeds into the fight, he's standing on like the square at the top of the staircase. Okay, he's using a different setup, but that's going to allow him to enter the Hugo fight with a state of invulnerability. This fight's a real pain in the neck. It's incredibly difficult to win on Toal EX. Due to Charged Inferno, it's manageable on regular Toal, but it still really sucks when you miss it. Which means that one of us two is gonna totally biff it.
But yeah. I'm also getting juggled by these ghosts here.
Did you just say Jottoed?
Juggled.
Okay. That works too. I'm just laughing. Shoutouts to Jotto. He hasn't had a ton of influence on this game, but he breaks most of these games. He ran East 9 yesterday, so after this marathon, do consider checking out that run. I was on commentary for it, but not because of that. Check it out because Jotto is a great runner, and he's been a huge boon to the East community.
Waste my boost just to get my hit points back up before
On the
Kishkel.
plus side, for having to fight Pictamos, I don't have to grind in this area, which allows me to get a little bit of time back on the on Nazuna and Hadamaki, but It's minuscule. Yeah, and Hadamaki just got a clean fight against no no damage Hugo, and Nazuna just cleaning up on Sov as well and entering the final area and getting the really cool music to himself. So there's going to be a lot of cutscenes coming up on Hadamaki's end. He's just getting the
Oh no! I didn't equip the armor.
Oh no.
oh god.
Yeah, you're gonna... Yeah, I'm gonna... This might be a rip run for me.
Just time your infernos very well.
Yeah. And it's just... Yeah. I'm not used to doing... I'm used to just practicing the area, assuming I got the skip. So just blitzing through, everything was wrong. Yeah, this is... I'm gonna try.
Okay, that was a very clean Kishkel fight on my end.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah,
sorry, man.
man, yeah.
Alright.
Do we have a minute for some donations?
Yes, you have plenty of time for donations. We're in Cutscene City, and Yanis is in Kishkel Hell. So go for it.
Right.
The Ice
So,
Inferno is basically a one-hit killer.
we have a $10 donation from Bill the Conqueror. It says, for the curse jar.
Thank you.
We have a $50 donation from James Picard 007.
Yeah, thanks, James.
A $44.59 donation from Milgrips, saying donating the average amount for an above average event and an even greater cause. Best of luck to the runners and stay awesome. And we have a $25 donation from Legrand Grand with a comment in two parts, saying, hello again, LGG here. Thanks for having me on for Golden Sun Dark Dawn. Good luck to all the runners, especially you ease runners, and may the best win. And secondly, helping people with mental illness rings very close to my heart, and for anyone that needs to hear it in these difficult times, the world is beautiful and life is beautiful. It is a treasure, and cherish it with all your heart, whether it's for you or with others. Enjoy the marathon, everyone.
So, looks like we hit 5,000 off of that, so huge thanks to everyone for doing that.
Yeah, thank you everyone who's donated, and thank you to everyone who will donate.
Crossed the 5,000 mark in the first 24 hours. Shoutouts to all the donators.
We can do better. We can hit 6. Still got a couple more hours, I think, before we hit the full 24-hour mark. I think we can do it, Chad.
I mean, $5 chain.
Okay, I got one clip right. Alright, so there's 2 final bosses. The first is Dallas. Dallas is in 3 phases. The first phase is very basic. You just, it's kind of like a test fight, really. And then the second phase, you hit him with all your different types of magic as color-coded by what's on his plate. And then the third phase, the little buddies around him on the side are going to surround the arena, and then you're going to have to kill those before you can get to damaging the boss. I'm going to see if I can't get the invuln on this fight, just because I think it's really funny. And the third phase is really awkward because he shoots out this stupid, like, magic circle on the ground, and if you step on it, he traps you, and you just take a bunch of damage. On easy difficulty, it's not that bad. On, like, Nightmare, it's basically an auto-kill. Which is saying something, because this is actually an easy fight on basically every difficulty. But you don't want to get caught into it, because it just wastes a lot of time. And looks like Hadamaki's off to the final boss. He has to go through a 4-minute and 50-second long cutscene, so Nazuna just finishing up the Hugo fight as well. So he's heading into the Dallas fight. Admittedly, the one thing about running this game is your ending portion is just very, very full of cutscenes. The last really hard trick is Hugo 2 invulnerability. It's like the last point at which the run can just utterly go to heck. To use language here that Yenis opted not to earlier. I'm sorry, I'm just teasing you a little bit. So I got invulnerability.
We're supposed to.
I got invulnerability on this fight. I'm not taking any damage. As soon as I hit this head, I will start taking damage again, but... Actually, no. I still have invulnerability.
Guess I'm racing to see if I can kill Kishkel before you finish the run.
Yeah, without that armor, you're just in a very bad position, honestly.
Yeah, he does about 40 per hit.
Jeez. And I failed to get her down. Admittedly, depth perception's kind of bad in this game, so sometimes it's hard to keep a boss like this down. You don't want to get her down too long because then your EXP just takes a massive hit. Oh god, I'm getting the worst attack. She's off by like a hair. I'm not even gonna take damage. It's just like this fight wastes time, or this attack wastes time. Get back here, you. Alright, next hit will kill. And that was the worst Zaba of my life. Yeah, you got time for like more donations.
All right, I was just gonna ask. Okay, so we got a couple rolling in. We have one from Shawnee, another donation, saying just for the memes of it all. Just for the memes. $10 donation. And we have a $99 donation from Tiny Tim, saying, hey all, donating for the amazing Ease Origin race. Shout out and good luck to all the runners, especially my good friend Ghost Kumo. You're awesome. Cheers.
Thank you, Tiny Tim. I'll admit, I don't know what I signed up for when I signed up for doing a 4-way race where I'm also having to do play-by-play a little bit, but I'm having fun.
Oh damn!
So,
Got me down to like 10%.
so yeah, there's a whole bunch of story stuff going on. We're finally confronting Dallas. Toal has finally decided he's going to be a good guy. Nazuna's on the first phase of the Dallas fight. And a whole bunch happens in the final cutscene. The goddesses give Toal back his sword, which is a reference to East 1, where Adol used to use the silver sword to defeat the big bad evil. But unlike that game, you can shoot lasers with it. So this last fight is as free as can be, almost. It's very hard to take a lot of damage, and even on casually, I would say that the last couple bosses are pretty easy, but like, really just like the end portion of this run, after you get Hugo 2 and vulnerability, it's just kind of like a victory lap. Like, there are little ways you can lose time, but usually nothing significant, barring like incredibly bad circumstances. So, like, in a way, Kishkel is kind of like the last real boss of the run. As you can see, Yenis struggling to fight him. Like, even when you have the right armor, it is a fight you can very much lose, but when you don't, it's usually run over. Because even if you get it, it's still very slow. And now I'm coming up on Hugo invulnerability myself.
Alright, we've got another $25 donation from Extreme Board.
Yo, there's an OG.
Oh yeah.
And then again, since it seems like we're coming up on kind of the back end of the run here, you guys talking about the final boss.
I messed that up. I have to fight Hugo 2 normally now. I didn't angle my cursor just a little too far to the left, and then in trying to adjust, I accidentally moved forward. This isn't unwinnable. My run's not as in as dire a situation as Tellianis's, but still. Anyway, Hadamaki's on the final fight. There's 4 phases. Each phase, an orb will be hidden in either its chest or one of its arms. He wants to break it 4 times, and then break the tentacles in the final phase.
Holy something! I won.
You won.
I got this. I got this. I can still win.
I believe in
Win,
you.
you feel great. You can do this.
Okay, now just don't forget to equip the armor after.
Nah. I'm gonna go ahead. Just do it all commando.
So I haven't seen too many E's games or speed runs, but this is certainly a good showcase. This game looks really impressive. Probably a really good casual playthrough as well, I would imagine.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
aspects of this game that haven't aged the best, admittedly. You can't pause during boss fights, which kind of stinks, but like, it's still a great game in my opinion. So nice challenge, like especially if you play on Nightmare.
Yeah, it really looks like really fast paced. Definitely like a lot of
Time
the
is
tech
coming
I'm
up,
seeing
by
here.
the way, on.
Yeah,
on
time is when
Hadamaki.
the boss runs out on its HP. So whoever's on tech, as soon as the boss flickers white, that is time. That would be on my end a 1:22:31, which is
About the same.
about 5 minutes faster than any of our PBs. So that is an extremely good run.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
GG.
very good.
And I'm getting like the worst patterns on Hugo here.
So again, coming up in a couple minutes, do have some prizes that are ending. One, the Steam key for Arc Noir is ending at the end of this run, as well as the plush for Jenna, Golden Sun, and we have one that's open right now. Again, if you like what you see with this game, you can kick in a $5 donation just to try to win that Ease Origin Steam key. And that's running through the end of the Valkyrie Profile 2 run.
Also, Hadamaki was locked a 14-second head start, so I was really at 1:22, like 18. And I'm just getting the most absolutely terrible Hugo patterns. So, run might be ripped for me as well. I don't know why, like, I got this first try last time I got this, and I don't know why I'm, like, struggling here.
Yeah, I didn't remember him being that difficult.
And the final boss here almost looks like it could be in a shmup game.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I remember Bowie once referring to it as Mushihime. Which I was like, it's not purple enough, but it's close. I mean, there's enough purple there that I could see that. The quick thing to note on the boss that Nazuna is on. There's no way to speed up the cycles. and it's always going to be 4 cycles. So even you'll see on the 4th one, he's actually going to drain the boss's HP to 0. But the boss doesn't end until you get to his final phase. I think you might still be able to finish this, just barely underestimate Yanis. It's a race against
Yeah.
estimate.
The race
Yeah,
against the estimate.
Definitely gonna give it my all unless tech tells me now it's time to stop. I'm gonna try and get there. Oh, you want Hugo. I'm seeing a significant delay, so you only just got there.
I just finished him. I'm also a little bit underleveled for the Dallas fight. That shouldn't be too bad, but
What are you at?
336.
Okay.
Because trying to fight Hugo without invulnerability lowers my EXP yield so badly that
Yeah.
I miss out on 2 levels.
You're probably gonna get something on Dallas though, so
Yeah, so Nazuna was time a little bit ago. Looks like that was a 127 something, which I think was a PB for him actually, like a substantial PB. Like I think his PB was like 128.40.
I think it takes like 10 minutes after reaching the summit for the actual end. Yeah, I'm not gonna make estimate. You got 2 minutes to get past Hugo and up top. Not gonna happen.
Yeah, my PB in this category is a 128.55, so it looks like both of them have beaten my PB. Admittedly, I haven't run this category as much as Toal EX, so I think with a little bit more optimization, I'd probably
My
give
PB
my
is
time a little.
127.9, I think.
Probably be able to get like a 126, but like when both runners are competing with that, that's just kind of a show of just how good they are. Like and Haramaki especially, he's on another level. If there's anyone you follow from here, please follow these 2 runners, Haramaki and Azuna, and Telianis. He doesn't stream that often, but
No.
but here jump attacks are getting in their value. So I'm actually trying to manipulate Dallas in such a way that when he starts falling back, he's going to fall back within the arena rather than out of bounds, because this guy is a royal jerk who loves to position himself out of bounds. And he still did it, but not for too long, thankfully.
Yeah, I just got to Hugo.
126.56 is what's showing up on the layout here, which I think is a PB for Nazuna. So, huge congrats to him. Yeah, I'm actually taking more damage on this fight than I normally do, because 2 levels means a lot in this fight.
Yeah, at least I got the invulnerability on Hugo, so
You won't have the same problem I will. Or I did. On the plus side, this fight does give me EXP, so I should actually be a little over leveled for Darm, which is the very last fight. And that magic circle.
Yeah, it's funny with the way experience works in this game. In the time attack mode, every one of the bosses up to Dallas and Darm, the default level you're at is higher in time attack mode, except since you get into Hugo 2 at such a low level, you get such a massive amount of experience that you actually fight. You have a higher level on Dallas and Darm.
Yeah.
In the speedrun than on time attack.
Yeah, the speedrun actually makes use of the fact that EXP scales in this game. The higher level you are, the less you get. And the lower level you are, the more you get. Which is kind of how easy...
if you were to grind max level, the fastest way to get there is actually the first speedrun. First speedrun the game, and then grind whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my time's gonna be probably a 137, 138, looks like. Yeah, probably a 138. Well, this is what happens when you mess up Hugo. I would have loaded a backup save in probably a marathon solo run, but for the sake of the race, I felt like it'd probably be best to just finish this out.
I'll be honest, I never even thought about that. That might have been more interesting to do than fail against Kishkel for 5 minutes. Or 10 minutes or something. It. So that'll be like a 140. Maybe 3.
All right, just want to talk real quick about some donation incentives we have coming up. And we have one for Half Minute Hero 2, Second Coming. This is to choose the 3D model in the game. Aiden Chronicles, the First Mage, Cheat Code Showcase. Pathfinder Kingmaker, the Slay Count Smolderburn. Just about over halfway. And the Lost Odyssey, rather, Lirum Cutscene. Looks like that's just about halfway as well.
Definitely, that's a good one to put your money towards. Lost Odyssey is actually a game that's kind of near and dear to my heart. So much so that I actually signed up to host part of that one. And Ragnar is a very cool guy, very cool runner. But that cutscene in particular is one of the most emotional in that game. We already get the funny cutscene from that game, so... There's also some half-minute hero bid wars, which I'm looking forward to. If you got any donations left to read, this is probably the best chance you got right now.
Well, let's see. But you don't have any coming through at the moment. Well, I'll just take this opportunity to tell everyone while we're all here. So we're supporting NAMI. That's the National Alliance for Mental Illness. And you can check them out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. At Nami as Facebook, Twitter, Nami Communicate. Instagram is the same, Nami Communicate. And Tumblr at notalone.nami.org or oktotalk.org.
Me being under level here might actually be really bad. Like, I do think it is actually possible for me to die in this fight.
Oh, damn.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's like, I've been at this fight at 353 before, and when that happens, it's like, it's unlosable. But I don't think I've been at 342, and in this case, I actually have to watch my health bar. Because things hit for more than, like, 1 or 2 damage apiece.
Okay, Dallas done. And it might actually be like 7 minutes after Dallas.
It's about 7 minutes from after you kill Dallas to
Yeah,
end
so
the
it'll be a
run.
144. Yeah. 144. It's all good.
The reason you're gonna see me spamming my charged Thunderclaw here is it replenishes 4% of my extra meter every time I do. I don't know why it does that. And I'm getting wailed on here. Time will be coming up for me very soon. Assuming I don't die here, which is actually a possibility, given that I'm under-leveled here.
You got this.
And time for me. 138, 15, 16 on my end. I started the timer late, so it's like a 138.20. Ooh.
I don't even have a local timer on. I'm just looking at the stream.
See,
Well,
nothing to worry about.
I got underestimate, and I only got bodied by Hadamaki by 15 minutes. Thanks, Hugo. You're a pal.
Hugo coming through as always.
I hope he sucks eggs.
If he had started over when he finished, he'd be up to like Nick Tilger by the time I finish.
Yeah, so, while Tellianis is in the 5-minute cutscene of death, I suppose this would be a good time to just do, standard post-run stuff, so we get out of the way so we don't have to spend too much time after the run, because we want to keep things on schedule. Huge shout-outs to Hadamaki-san, Nazuna-san, for joining us in this race. Both of them are going to be racing this game for RTA in Japan later this year. I want to say a little bit after Christmas. So definitely check that run out. If there's a speed gaming restream as they've done in the years past, I'll probably be offering to do commentary for that, which thankfully means I won't have to be running the game at the same time. And shout outs to Tellianis for joining us in this race here. Like, everyone here has been a big contributor to this game in many ways. The 4 of us have a combined almost 20 years of experience running this game. Off and on, obviously, but, still. Many of us go back to, like, 2016.
Shoutouts to Ghost
Old boy.
for being the main commentator here.
I was really wanting to get this race together. I thought about just offering a race, but I thought it would be really cool if we could get everyone involved. So big thanks to these 3, I should say, for joining me here.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Definitely fun.
Shout outs to
I mean,
James for joining us on commentary.
mistakes make it unique.
Any additional help for this is nice. Shoutouts to kind of just the East Origin speedrunning community. You've all kind of found various skips. There was a donation earlier from Extreme Board. He went AWOL for several years, only to recently, come back and say hi, which is really nice to see him because he was one of the OGs who put in a lot of the work finding a lot of the early skips in this game. A lot of this routes thanks to him. Shoutouts to Spooty Biscuit, who I mentioned, who routed a lot of the stuff. And kind of pushed world record to the first, I think, truly good time relative to the route. I think Extreme Board's first time was really good for its time, and then Spooty would be the second. Shoutouts to Tsukibaka, also one of the big, kind of driving forces of the community for many years. Getting many people into these games, getting people into speedrunning these games. Shoutouts to Railcoon. They did the, I think, first marathon run of this game ever, and was kind of one of the driving forces, I guess, behind me pushing this game when I first began running it seriously. And shoutouts to all the donators, watchers, and viewers, and Questing for Glory for having us. Also, thanks to Smelling with Toal for hosting.
Thorn was also a big router for some of the categories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might see some of the skips in this game or East 9 from yesterday and just think, how do people find this stuff? It really just comes down to a lot of people just putting in the work and just playing the game a lot and just finding things by accident. And then when you find something by accident, you try it out everywhere you can, and then it ends up being discovered that you can do other things. Getting invulnerability by getting into a boss fight happened completely by accident in 2015 by Spooty, for instance. Jado in chat mentioning when is Gaia Chaos reveal. Big shoutouts to Gaia Chaos, came up with a lot of the boss strats in the run. I was never a particularly prominent real time runner, but big time attack boss rush runner. So
Time.
All right.
GG.
A proud 143, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's good that you could finish it all. You recovered from some really, really terrible situation there. A lot of the terrible situations in the game happened from
It should have been a few minutes quicker because I was kind of just goofing around with Kishkel. I never actually thought I'd get out of the fight. And then I started noticing I was dealing enough damage that it was possible. You get a slight boost on easy when you retry. You get 1% more damage reduction every time.
So, all right, that'll be it for us. Definitely keep watching. Please follow these runners. Harumaki and Nazuna both stream pretty regularly. I stream fairly regularly, although I don't always stream East as much. Yeah, and just if you haven't followed Limit Break, please follow Limit Break. If there's any channel here you follow, it's RPG Limit Break. All right,
Yep.
and that'll be it for us.
Thank you.
So, thanks for watching.
Thank you for having us.
All right, GG, all. Looks like we got the Saga Frontier remastered. All scenarios with carryover run coming up next. And we do have some donation incentives that are still going. Looks like Half Minute Hero 2, the 3D model, just over halfway for that one. In Aiden Chronicles, Cheat Code Showcase, the Pathfinder, Kingmaker, Slay Count Smolderburn, just over halfway, and a Lost Odyssey View the Lyrum cutscene is just over halfway as well. And as far as prizes here, looks like the Jenna handmade plush that is now closed, as well as the Steam key for Arc Noir. We do have the Ease Origin Steam key still rolling. That's going through another couple of runs here, all the way up until the end of Valkyrie Profile 2. Yeah, good game to everyone. That was very impressive.
So we can confirm, looks like Nazuna PB'd.
And those marathon PBs there's always the best ones, for sure. Get to showcase your game in front of everyone. Do the best you've ever done.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win. You can't beat that one.
Yeah.